Hey everyone, welcome to my channel, or channels, H. Cooper Crafty Bug and Crafty Bugs Homecoming Mom Beehive. I'm gonna do a chain I haven't done in years. I used to do this one a lot, the infinity chain, and this is the one I came up with. I know I have two different videos with two different ones, and they were inspired by one that I had seen on Pinterest years ago. I don't even remember what the original one looks like at this point. But this one is the one that's continuous ribbon. You're not cutting ribbons into small pieces. So I'm using 7/8. I've got some gold diamond dust that's doubled and some purple luster that is also doubled. And each side is 1 yard. So it's actually 2 yards. It's just folded in half. Then I'm going to give the end and I'm going to lay them like this. And I'm going to give that a staple. Now, I haven't done this in years, and I kind of freehanded it in the past. I'm going to try and do it with a little bit of measurements this time. Like I said, it's actually been years. I had to go back and watch my videos to kind of freshen up on it. Okay, so you take it and you, of course, that's not going to stay down. Let me get a stapler or something just to hold that down. And so you want to cross them like so. And then we're going to stem again like so. But you want to staple that. So you're crossing them this way. But I just freehanded it before, and a lot of times they didn't line up. So I would like to try to measure them. But actually, it feels like if you're doing this on your mat, 4 inches from where it connects. And then I'm going to measure out 4 inches where it connects. So right there. And I'm putting this right in the middle. Let's see how this turns out. So we want to layer those. Crisscross them. All right. Now again, 4 inches. This is going to take a little longer, but I just want to see if it's worth it. Now we're going to go over and just, of course, that one turned, so it may not be exact. And I do want to bling it up, so I need to turn on my hot glue gun. Okay, I'm going to move this up. I don't want to mess it up. Think of something heavy that I can just put there, like maybe my scissors. These aren't very heavy, but right, again, I'm going to measure out 4 inches and 4 inches. This one's a little over to the left. If you can see that from here, like holding it up. So my measurements may not be perfect. I not want to stay lined up. Maybe those scissors. Now I probably messed that up. I think I stapled it wonky. That might be the problem. Oh my gosh, those are terrible. Okay. Over. That one looks good. So far, we have about a 14-inch braid chain. The chain, you're not braiding ribbon. Okay. See how much we get with a yard. And I bet it helps too to make sure that you're stapling it right in the center. I'm actually going to take that off. It's actually really nice. All right, let's see how long this is. Here's the very tip. So I don't know, about 24 inches. I think it stretches a little bit. It did get wonky here. It is a little wonky. So I don't know if I feel like I messed up there maybe. I don't know. It may just be impossible to do straight. But I am going to add a little bit of bling, so I will show that. All right, I'm just trimming off the end there. I'm not sure if this is going to be the end that I hang it with, or if I'm going to hang it from the other end. But more than likely I will hang it on the right side, hang that down at the bottom. This bling came from Mums R Us, and their link is in the description, of course, under Mum Supply stores that I use. It's some kind of oval type pattern, and I'm going to cut 2 of them for the middle of each of these, or to cover all the staples. Alright, just continue cutting all of these. Like I said, I'm doing 2. And they're not really separate, you just kind of have to cut in between as best you can. It's not like the ones with the string, you know, there's like gaps in between each one. This bling is not like that. If I remember correctly though, these pull apart, like the big round ones. If I remember correctly, don't quote me on that. But I'm just hot gluing them over those staples. And this is where I realized something's not adding up. I twisted wrong right there. I'm like, what's going on now? So go ahead and just put that one up there. Yeah, instead of going, I think not on the next one, but the one after that, I was supposed to go under and I went over again or something. I don't know. I did something wonky and it took me a minute to figure it out. Figure out the pattern. Alright, now I got to remove all these staples and redo this last part. Of course I have to redo all of them. You can't just undo part of it. But that's okay, it happens. Especially when I'm videoing and I've got too many things in my mind. It's a lot easier to mess up a braid or mess up anything. And luckily, where I took the staples out, I know exactly where to restaple them. So at least there was that. There was no more measuring. And I think this was the one I'd messed up on. I don't know which way I twisted. I have to go back and look. Of course, you could twist them any way you want and get a different little pattern with it. It's up to you. But I was going for this pattern, so needed to fix that. Now I can bling it back up. I'm just counting how many more I need. In case I forgot to show that, there you go. Still not perfectly straight, but that was the best, you know, measuring it did help. When I did these in the past, I just eyeballed it. And I think I made them much skinnier in the past. I may have done some this wide too, I can't remember. No, I did do wide ones, but I did some skinny, excuse me, some skinny ones too. And where I'm attaching the bling right now, I had also taken like some printed ribbon and ran it through the back side and glued it down to where I was putting the bling on the bottom parts. You'd have to just go watch those old videos to see what I'm talking about if that doesn't make sense. I think they're really quick videos too, but I'll try to remember to link them. So if there's anything I forget to say in this one, or you want to see how I did them before, you can go watch those. There was hot glue everywhere, so I was just trying to burn that off. That's like one of the best ways to get rid of it. That and a microfiber cloth. It's really good for the glue. Alright, now I'm going to do the other version, and I'm cutting 8-inch strips. Now this isn't, like I said, this isn't the version that a lot of y'all have seen. I would guess they're cutting theirs at like 4-inch strips. Alright, so I have, again, I'm using 7/8 inch ribbon. I've got green diamond dust, black diamond dust, green and black luster. So I'm going to make sure that these strips are all double-sided. That's up to you, but both sides are going to be seen, so I want it to look pretty. And then I decided to you know, do like the black acetate with the green, no, that's the black diamond dust with the green luster on top, and make sure that the pretty sides are out and the dull sides are in, facing each other. And I just want to line these up and then give it a staple right there. And then the next one I'm going to do green diamond dust with black luster on top. And I really like the way the colors alternated like that. Again, I'm just trying to line these up. I should have cut these on my ribbon cutter. I know that. I know somebody's going to say something. I just did not feel like doing it. Changing that out, you know, like changing the ribbons out, because I was only doing a few strips of each. But it probably would have, you know, since I trimmed them off with the scissors, I was trying to get clean cuts, but I still had to end up trimming them off. So I'm just going to fold it. But you see one color ends up being longer. I guess the top one ends up being longer because it doesn't need to be quite as long. My video keeps freezing, and I don't know if it's just my computer, this app, or what, or if that's going to happen for you guys. And I messed it up. I forgot. See, the way I just had it is the version I think y'all are used to. or that you see. That's why I say 4-inch strips, but I'm making a curve in them and then attaching them. But I gotta tape it down because it's messing up. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've done these, so I am rusty. It's been several years. I think you can see where I'm going with this now. So you just want to line those 2 points up. Like I said, I'm doing green, black, alternating. You could do it where, you know, like all the black is on the outside and all the green is on the inside and vice versa. Just whatever pattern you want to do. This one does take longer than the last one. And then if you do the one, you know, with like 4-inch strips, like I said, I don't know what people are cutting them at. That's just a guess for me. See, I keep having to trim off some. If I cut them with the ribbon cutter, I probably wouldn't have to trim. Maybe, maybe not. And they would be clean ends, but I just didn't feel like using it. Alright, I am going to speed it up a little bit, but I'm also going to zoom in so you can see a little better. And just keep moving it up. I'm doing that for video purposes and because it's getting lower and lower on the mat there. Back to the black diamond dust with the green luster. Again, 8-inch strips, 7/8" ribbon is what I'm using here. And no, I don't think I've ever made this with any bigger ribbon, but you could. But I wouldn't know the measurements. You'd have to play around with that. I'm quite certain you'd have to cut it longer. Like I said, I try to keep the ribbons lined up so you don't see, you know, one on the side, like you're looking down at the black, so you don't see like the green hanging over too much. Just a little bit is fine, but try to keep them lined up as best as possible. That one I screwed up. Try to match up those points so it makes a nice clean point at the bottom. And I did not do that, so that's why I took it out and redid it. So black luster, no, black diamond, no, black luster with green diamond dust. I mean, this is not terrible. It does not take too long. My video was around 50 minutes long total for making the two different chains. And I don't think I ever really stopped recording and made any of it while I wasn't recording. So that was pretty much both of them. And I was a little rusty on them and stuff, so I would say 20-25 minutes to make one. The first one definitely takes a lot less, especially, you know, it took me a little while to get it measured right and stuff. Okay, just finishing up the last couple of ones. Putting scissors or something down on that does help to keep it stable so you can make that twist. Just clean those ends up every time. See how I get those stack those where the points match up. And yay, the last one. Y'all be sure to tell me if I'm talking too much. A comment cracked me up. And I say the same thing over and over again. You're like, well, duh, I tell you all the time. I go on and on. I really did like the way the black and green looked and alternating the colors. I thought it was really pretty. Hopefully I'll get a mum I can use that on. I'm just kind of measuring it, but I still have to staple the middle sections. So that's going to stretch it out a little bit too. And try to center it as best you can. I decided holding it up was actually a better option if you're going to see how they lay, because this thing is going to be hung up, so this is going to be its natural position, and it's a little bit easier to find the middle. And I'm actually surprised how well you can see what I'm doing. I was afraid you wouldn't be able to tell at all what I was doing. I should have got Miss Dina's stand out and hung it up on there and then stapled them. I didn't even think. Because here I was trying to hold it with one hand and staple it with the other. I could have hung it up on that thing and stapled. I wasn't even thinking. Plus, but that thing gets in the way of the camera, like you wouldn't really be able to see it. See what I was doing. So there is that. Now when I measure it, it came out to 31 inches, I believe. I'll show it with my fingers so I wouldn't forget. I do this a lot when I'm videoing, especially if I'm not able to talk, because there's no way I'd remember what those measurements were. And I don't know how many sections I made. You guys would just have to go back and count and see how many that made to see how many you need. Now I'm just going to bling it up, and I decided to do silver. I think silver is what's used most with, you know, like emerald and Kelly green and black. And these are the big circles, the bigger circles. And I'm just trimming off those pesky little strings. And I'm going to glue those to the bottom sections. Cover those staples up. Alright, I'm going to zoom in, but I'm also going to speed this up. Like I said, I'm only using these big circles for the bottom staples. And I'm not going to put one on the very left because that's where it's going to hang, so I don't need bling there getting in my way. That would make it harder to hang it on the backer. And I'm going to go ahead and take this scrap piece of ribbon. I don't even know how long it was just a scrap piece, and fold it in half and then attach it right there. That will make it
a lot easier to attach it to the backer. It was at least 2 inches long. Now I've got this daisy bling, and I'm going to attach it on top of the large circles. So you don't have to put anything on those large circles. You can leave them be, or you can glue rhinestones or, you know, like something like this on top. Give it more dimension. Yeah, I was trying to trim the string off, but and then I finally got tired of that. Got the lighter out. It's hard to get in there with the scissors. Like I said, I'm just going to burn those little strings off so they don't show. You can't always get all of it off, but you can make it look better. Now, just like I said, I'm hot gluing that on there, right in the middle. Doesn't fit perfectly in the middle. It's going to hang over a little bit, but that's okay. You can find rhinestones that fit perfectly in there too. Look how, just the difference in that. It looks so pretty. And blinging it up, you know, really helps the chain too. I know in the past I've even put like tinsel over the staples as something different. Like I said, you can run ribbon. I think I've done like some kind of football ribbon or something on the back side, like a thin ribbon for the guys' mums. You could put little bows, just, you know, rhinestones. Trying to think. You could buy, you know, I like to use like the little buttons, the different designs, like footballs and stuff. You'd have to take off the back side. You'd have to break that off, or you could do little trinkets or something. Now I'm going to do some more of the daisy on the top, but just the daisies. So I want smaller bling on the top. So big bling on the bottom and then the smaller bling on the top. I like to clip those strand bling. That way when it's in my container, I can easily find the end. I'm not searching for the end of it. I see that little clip, I just grab the clip and there's the end of the strand of bling. It really does save time. And I get annoyed with myself if I forget to do that. And I have my ceiling fan on, so it's really difficult to get the lighter to work with the ceiling fan. But I hate turning down the ceiling fan because then it gets hot really quickly. It gets stuffy. And I'm just going to finish off blinging these, like I said, the top staples with the daisy, and I'll be done. Again, these do not take long at all to make. Probably the hardest part on this one is just cutting all those ribbons. If you call that hard, like the most lengthy part of the process, really. But it is a cute braid, or chain. It's not a braid, it's a chain. I hope you guys enjoyed this updated video. Like I said, it's been years since I made one of these videos, and it's been years since I made these chains, so I'm glad I refreshed on them. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video, please, and comment. Even if it's just an emoji, it really helps my channel. I appreciate it so much. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and thank you so much. God bless. Happy mum making, happy crafting. Y'all have a wonderful homecoming season. And be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and please be kind in those comments. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you. There it is. Isn't that beautiful? I think it turned out really pretty.